When we started, prices were lower, assets were cheaper, especially these older properties. But as the market cycle has shifted, the prices for these older properties all of a sudden went up.
Has your buy criteria changed much over the years, or it's the
Great
same kind of
question.
stuff?
I love that question because you're thinking like a business guy. It absolutely changes. When we started, prices were lower, assets were cheaper, especially these older properties. But as the market cycle has shifted, the prices for these older properties all of a sudden went up because people were bidding for them. So right now, the older properties and the newer properties are sort of the same price point. The only problem with these older properties are there's a lot more work, what we call deferred maintenance. So that's why we've shifted now to buying newer assets, because newer assets have less work on them. Those older assets you're talking about, some of them have aluminum wiring. Some of them have knob and tube for electric breakers. Some of them have cast iron plumbing, and there's nothing wrong with that stuff if you can budget for it and pay for it. But the pricing over the last couple of years just shot up so much that it made it, once again, untenable to buy it at that price point. So that's why your market cycle is constantly evolving through the market cycles. And I think right now, as these prices tend to adjust and go down, we're going to look at the older assets. It's not saying that we're not looking at the older assets. We just don't want to pay the price points that they're at right now. I'd rather buy something newer with a little bit less work, especially considering, since I want to hold this deal for the next 10 or 15 years. If it's newer, it's got a much longer, life cycle, as opposed to the older ones that, hey, you got to put a ton of work into them. And at the end of the day, they're still old.